How you get there. It is I, Quan. Where you go is never as important as how you get there. Your final destination is Source. You are returning home to the truth of who you are, and that is a journey that has many stops along the way. So nowhere that you could ever go prior to arriving home could ever be your final destination. Therefore, every stop along the way is a part of the journey as well. And so none of these stops could possibly be more important than any journey that takes you to it. Be aware of what it is that you are doing on your way to where you are going. Are you clenching up, or are you relaxed? Are you working hard, or are you easing into it? Do you have time to stop and smell the roses, or do you push yourself beyond the point of exhaustion just to get there sooner? Live your lives in every moment in the precise way that you want to live your lives when you get to where it is you think that you are going. Wherever it is that seems more exciting or more enticing than where you are is just another point along the way. Ultimately, you cannot make a wrong turn. You cannot stray so far from the flock that you will never find your way back. So you don't even have to worry about that, and you certainly don't need to worry about how long it is taking you, because once you return to Source, you're just going to want to do it all over again. So let go of your ideas that there is something better than where you are, and let go of the notion that says you're not getting there or that you're not getting there fast enough. You are in the perfect place right now to experience the joy of your being, to experience the love in your heart, and to experience the excitement of your existence. What no longer serves you? As you move forward with your desire to be free from that which has not served you, recognize that it once in fact did serve you. So you don't need to push something away or to vilify it just because it's no longer a fit. It is not a match to you vibrationally in the moment. But as you look back at it, you don't need to put it in a negative light in order to distance yourself from it. And just to be clear, I am speaking about people as well as beliefs and actions. There is nothing wrong inherently with anything in all creation. When you are ready to move past something, it naturally falls away. But you often believe that it has some power over you, that it can somehow attach itself to you and go along with you on the journey. That is not the case, however. And if you give it your attention or attempt to protect others from it, you will find that you have not actually moved past it at all. What you are in any moment is a creator being, and nothing has the ability to create itself in your experience. So you can relax when you let go of something. The biggest piece that I want you to take away from this transmission is that it is more important for you to let go of your judgment about something that no longer serves you than it is to let go of the thing itself. The judgment will create an attachment, and it will linger on in your experience until you release that judgment. When you see what it is that you do want in front of you, do not take your eyes off it to make sure that what you are leaving behind isn't following you. Nothing can get in the way of your expansion, of your becoming, but you can place obstacles in your way until you decide that you no longer want to do that. Romantic relationships. Opening yourself to another requires you to be vulnerable. You need to allow yourself permission to be exactly who you are. This is at the heart of why you connect in romantic relationships. It is not because you need the other person to be whole and to be complete. You come together to help each other heal. You come together because it is healthy for you to be exposed. It is a necessary part of your evolution to allow yourself to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, or to be experienced as you are. Many of you are looking for the perfect mate because you feel imperfect yourself, so you have this notion, this idea that the perfect other will compensate for your imperfection. And some of you actually find these mates and soon recognize that they are also going to prompt you to expose yourself and be vulnerable, perhaps even more so. When you feel that someone else has something that you do not have, some quality, some attribute, or some degree of attractiveness, that only magnifies your feeling of insecurity, your lack of self-love. So what I love to see in human relationships is when you let it all hang out, when you give yourselves permission to be messy, to have imperfections, and to be vulnerable and exposed. And when you accomplish this, that is when healing can begin. That is when the love of another can help you convince yourself that you are lovable just as you are. The primary reason why you feel drawn to connect with one another in the way is because your higher self knows precisely what you need. And so you will always be attracted to those who will be the catalyst for this type of growth experience. Be inappropriate. Traditionally, you have taken on roles that you believed were appropriate given your gender, age, and even ethnicity. You have taken on these roles in order to seem like you fit in and like you are appropriate. You need to take on those roles came from a fictional entity called society. You often use the term society to refer to an entity as though there is something out there that has some control over you and your choice and your behavior. And now you are waking up. And as you wake up, you realize that the idea of society is one that is all in your head. And certainly the idea that you must conform to what this fictional entity expects of you is also made up. It's not real. It's time to throw away these expectations that you are placing upon yourselves. It's time to stop caring about what is appropriate and about fitting in. The time is upon you to really begin listening to what your soul is urging you to do or to be. You cannot suppress that urging forever, and you will not enjoy it for a single moment as you do. So I suggest that you listen and that you heed the advice you are getting, no matter how foolish it seems. Be groundbreaking in your willingness to laugh in the face of what is normal, appropriate, and expected of you. And then you will really begin to know what it is like to be in the flow, to live joyously, and to be who you really are. Accessing more of you. When you welcome something into your life with open arms, you are accessing more of yourself. When you put all of the emphasis on something outside of you without acknowledging the fact that it is only helping you access more of who you are, that is how you create an attachment. The feeling of attachment creates a dependency that need not exist at all. But if you have yourself convinced that you can only access what it is you are feeling by engaging with this person, object, place, job, or situation outside of yourself, that is when you run into an unhealthy relationship. If instead you were to recognize that the feeling inside of you was always there and was simply waiting to be activated, you could create instead a very healthy relationship with yourself. I suggest that you begin to foster this relationship by acknowledging all of the positive and pleasant feelings that you have ever had as being aspects of you that you always have access to. Once you activate a feeling, a frequency, you actually demonstrate to yourself that you have greater access to it and that it is easier to access than you think. I understand why it is fun to have the experience of something outside of yourself stimulating the feeling within you, but all that I am suggesting is that you demonstrate to yourself how fun it can be to allow yourself to feel without anything outside of you giving you a reason to feel it. You are supported. Being able to sustain yourself amidst this great shift that is occurring is a very big challenge for many of you. To be awakened and to know that you have a purpose tends to make going to a 9-to-5 job almost intolerable. So you find yourself wanting to be of service and to grow and stay connected and aligned, but at the same time you recognize that you still need to pay the bills. When you find yourselves in dire straits financially with nowhere else to turn, that is the perfect time to let go completely out of the desire to make ends meet. Instead, I suggest that you open yourselves up to receiving from the higher realms. Give yourselves the opportunity to receive and to be supported. Listen to what your inner wisdom is telling you about being a part of the system that is not set up to support you, and look for energetic support from all who exist in the higher realms. There is not a right way and a wrong way to go about being on your planet. So if anyone still enjoys having their job, their career, their business, and that person is also awakened, I'm not saying that it is necessary to let go of what is working for you. I am speaking to those of you who have tried to make it work and cannot, and I am telling you that it is quite all right to give in, to let go, and to be of service by giving of yourself. You will be supported by this universe when you do. You will find that there is always enough when your focus is on being of service, of working with energy. The energy that you are is supported by all who exist in the higher realms. I am Quan, and I hold you in my heart.